Good morning. We're often encouraged to pay attention to the cycles of nature, whether it be day-night cycles, cycles of the moon, cycles of a year, or the great year comprising of the precession of the equinoxes. We can find cycles in our own human anatomy, the rhythmic beating of our hearts, or the inhalation and exhalation of breath. We find cycles also within a typical human lifespan, known as a saeculum. These include childhood, young adulthood, midlife, and elderhood. Civilizations and societal constructs are natural creations of humans and come about as a result of our societal nature. They too can have their lifespans. They are born, thrive, decay, and die. They go through phases during their existence, just as we individuals go through our own life changes. I want to share an interesting theory known as the fourth turning, conceptualized by the historians William Strauss and Neil Howe, that is apropos to our current time. Written in 1997, this theory offers a cyclical view of history that suggests that we are not just the products of a linear progression, but part of a repeating cycles of societal change. Going back over the 5 Anglo-American centuries, Strauss and Howe discovered that within each saeculum, or 80 to 100 year period, there are 4 dramatic shifts in the mood of the nation, with each lasting approximately 20 years. These 4 turnings of the saeculum include a high marked by an upbeat mood, conformity, trust in institutions, an awakening marked by the increased spirituality and rebellion, an unraveling in which institutions become distrusted and individualism is strong, and a crisis in which a revolution of some type occurs and the old order is destroyed. A new order emerges during the high era of the following saeculum, and the 4 turnings repeat themselves in the same order. Generational archetypes are key components of this theory proposed by Strauss and Howe in their works. These archetypes describe the distinct roles that different generations play in the historical cycle, each shaped by the unique socioeconomic, cultural, and historical context they grow up in. The archetypes are the prophet, the nomad, the hero, and the artist. According to their theory, the first turning, known as the prophet, was from 1946 to 1964, corresponding to the baby boomers. Prophets are idealists. They grow up as indulged youths with an emphasis on values and principles. They come of age during a period of cultural upheaval, leading to a focus on morality, spirituality, and culture over materialism. Their role is as elders. They are moralistic, often leading to cultural and spiritual awakenings. The second turning are the nomads, from 1964 to approximately 1984, which would correspond with Generation X. The nomads are reactive. The characteristics of the nomad archetype are they grow up as underprotected children in a time of societal decay, leading to self-reliance, pragmatism, and skepticism of institutions. They are often adapters, managing to navigate through crises with their practical, hands-on approach. The third turning, the heroes, from 1984 to 2005, would correspond with the millennial generation. The hero archetype are civics. They are protected children who come of age solving a major crisis, leading to a strong sense of community and civic duty. They are often team-oriented, institution building, and focused on collective achievements. As they age, they work to rebuild and strengthen institutions after a crisis. The fourth turning, the artist, is approximately from 2005 to 2025 and is represented by Gen Z. The artists are adaptive, and their characteristics are that they grow up as overprotected children in a time of reconstruction following a crisis. This leads them to being sensitive, conformist, and often more focused on process rather than outcomes. Their role is they help in refining and protecting the new institutions and societal norms established by the hero generation. We are currently, according to this model, in the fourth turning, in the crisis or perhaps just beyond it. Some signs that we are in this phase: there's a crisis mood, economic distress, cultural and societal upheaval, political polarization, generational conflict and unity, external threats or wars, and leadership changes. During this time, public sentiment shifts from complacency or cynicism towards frustration or anger including more active engagement with a willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. This can create a push towards significant reforms in government, society, and culture. This involves restructuring old systems or creating new ones, often with a focus on unity or survival. We can experience technological or scientific breakthroughs. Rapid technological change, particularly as we see in AI and automation, represent both crises and opportunities for transformation, echoing the profound shifts expected in this phase. Often, significant advancements or breakthroughs occur, which are necessitated by or in response to the crisis, leading to new ways of living or solving problems. So how might we navigate this crisis? Leadership and collective action. Historically, the crisis phase calls for strong and often transformative leadership. We see this in the emergence of leaders who promise to restore order or radically change the status quo. We have certainly been seeing that on steroids for the last couple months. Rebuilding of institutions. There's a push towards either reforming existing structures or creating new ones that can handle the challenges of the new era. Think of the discussions around global governance, energy policy, or the role of certain institutions in society. There's a moral and civic renewal. There's a cultural shift towards a sense of purpose and community, which can manifest in new societal movements or a revival of old ones, aimed at addressing the crises head-on. Each turning is also influenced by the generational archetypes present. Today, we have the millennials and Gen X coming into positions of power, potentially steering the outcomes of this crisis with new ideas or technologies. As we look forward, the end of this crisis phase, the fourth turning, leads to several expected outcomes or transformations. We can expect new order and institutions. The crisis will likely lead to the creation of new institutions or significant reforms in existing ones. This could be new laws, government structures, or changes in economic systems designed to address the causes or aftermath of the crisis. The aim is to rebuild society with stronger, more resilient structures. There is often a shift in cultural values as well that comes with the fourth turning. The collective experience of crisis tends to foster a new consensus on what is important, leading to changes in societal norms, values, and behaviors. This might involve a return to traditional values or the adoption of new ones based on the lessons learned from the crisis. The generation coming of age during the crisis, whom Strauss and Hall call the hero generation, will be defined by their experiences. They'll likely become known for their civic engagement, teamwork, and resilience. This generation will also have a significant role in shaping the post-crisis world. Economic recovery and new economic systems. After the upheaval, there's typically a period of economic recovery. However, this might not just be a return to the previous normal, but could involve new economic models or systems that reflect the changes in society and technology. Innovations spurred by necessity during the crisis often lead to lasting technological changes. These could be in healthcare, communication, energy, or other sectors, fundamentally altering daily life. We could experience a shift in leadership style. Leadership qualities valued during the crisis, such as decisiveness, vision, or charisma, will help shape the next phase. Leaders who emerge who are successful during the fourth turning might set the tone for leadership for years or decades to come. Depending on the nature of the crisis, there could be swings towards nationalism, focusing on rebuilding or strengthening a national identity, or towards globalism, with a focus on international cooperation to prevent future crises, or a combination of both. There might be a redefinition of the relationship between citizens and the state, a new social contract, including rights and responsibilities and the societal safety net. This could mean changes in welfare systems, education, healthcare, or justice. There would be a period of high civic engagement. Post-crisis, there tends to be a period where civic participation is high. This could manifest in the increased voting, community involvement, or activism as society seeks to consolidate the gains or prevent future crises. The beginning of the next cycle. The fourth turning gives way to the first turning, an era characterized by high community spirit, optimism, and a focus on building institutions. This is seen as a spring after the winter of crisis, starting a new cycle of history. The fourth turning suggests that from the ashes of crisis, a new order will emerge. This might not be visible in the immediate aftermath of our current challenges, but could take shape over the next decade or two. The theory warns that while outcomes are certain, history shows that from great crisis, great opportunities for transformation arise. As we stand at this crossroads, it is crucial for each of us to engage. The choices we make now will define the contours of the new high that follows. This is what we came for, and the moment has arrived. How will you live it?